Consumer behavior class. What is American culture? What does it look like? Think about it. Can anybody describe what our culture is? Culture is an accepted way of doing things, but can you explain what our culture is? I have a hard time with it, to be honest with you. I can, but I have a hard time every time this comes up. I've been fortunate to be able to travel to 50 different countries, really 50 different cultures. And I come back from Korea or Japan or Thailand or Germany or Austria or Cuba, I have a picture of what the culture looks like. And prior to going, I had no clue. Even with the research I did on Google and YouTube, you don't understand a culture until you live in that culture for really at least a week or two. Thai culture is the land of smiles and the food that people take time to prepare and sit down with the family. And, the way that they greet each other with the Swatika Kapkun Ka and their dress and the Buddha temples everywhere. And it's so easy to describe, but then again, what is ours? And the problem that I have with Americans in general is that they think their culture is number one, the best in the world, better than everybody else's. And if you've been to other countries, I care to guess that you would disagree with that. If you think it's better and you've been to other countries, then that's your opinion. But you can't say it's better, American culture, than that of the Mexican culture or the Canadian culture or the Icelandic culture or the Qatarian culture unless you've been there. You can't say it because you don't know. For example, Cuba, and I think I have a video on the discussion post of Describe the Culture. Cuba is a culture of everybody out on the streets dancing, singing, partying, drinking rum, and smoking cigars. Everywhere you go. Every night, every block, everywhere you go. Laughing and smiles and people singing. A happy culture. Yet the perception that we have of Cuba, if you haven't been there, is desolate, unhappy, and trying to get to America. Now, in some cases, there are because of the poverty. But their culture is happy and it's diverse. So I've been to Cuba 5 times, and I remember coming back on my last trip in 2017 after, being part of the parties and drinking a little rum maybe and enjoying the nightlife of Havana out on the water walk next to the Caribbean. And I land to come home in Raleigh, and I go out to get my mail, which had stacked up, and my neighbor came running across the street asking me why I didn't hire anybody to cut the lawn. My long grass was bothering him. And I thought to myself, why are they so happy and we're miserable? Then I noticed that most of my neighbors backed the car out of the garage and shut the garage, go to Food Lion, come back, open the garage and go in, and that's it. It was real quiet in my old neighborhood at night. Is that better than what is going on in Cuba with people? Are the Americans in my neighborhood in North Raleigh, my old neighborhood, are they happier than what's going on in Havana, Cuba? Now, I know the neighbors in North Raleigh have a lot more money, but does that make it better? And my answer is no. So culture is something that I really think you have to experience. Even researching it, it doesn't sink in. So if you could travel, because you're going to see that from our greetings to our etiquette with food, meaning like the Japanese slurp, the louder you slurp your soup or noodles, the more polite it is. Here, it's not polite. It's offensive. In Germany, there is no lateness. It doesn't exist. I don't think the word exists. Well, it does. It's spät. But they don't know late. It doesn't register. Yet in Colombia, if you're on time, it's rude. If they invite you at 6 o'clock and you show up at 5:45 or 6, they're not ready for you until 7:30. It's rude. You'll ruin an appointment. Or in Russia, after a business deal's made, you have to go out with your counterpart and drink vodka and be able to handle the vodka, or the deal will be canceled. Or in China, where after the contract's signed, people negotiate. There's regular culture and there's business culture. It's completely all different. I love learning about new cultures because I'm a big traveler. That's what I look to learn and experience. And there's some wild cultures out there. Think of Krampus in Austria, a demon that comes out and with a cow tail and whips the kids every December 5th at night. You've seen the movie Krampus, based off of Salzburg, Austria, Austrian culture, where the evil Santa comes out for the bad kids and whips them. The parents in Austria accept that. That's part of Austrian culture. And I can tell you, going to Walmart here versus a store in Austria, the kids in Austria are very disciplined and well behaved. They're not here. So culture is very, very interesting. And if you go far and far above the book or the chapter, you're going to see some incredible things around the world. If you type in Japanese culture or Brazilian culture or Chilean culture, you won't believe some of the things. And they're a lot of fun. And the main question gets back to is, are we better? Because we're accused of thinking that we're better than everybody else. It's called ethnocentricity. All right, that's all I got for right now, and take care.